Hello everybody and welcome to my channel. Today we're going to be playing a little bit of some Final Fantasy X, and I will be using the Expert Sphere Grid. So let's just see how this goes. How I plan on doing this channel is really just like whenever I'm just like walking around, finding treasure chests, fighting monsters. I will speed it up just to keep the videos from being so lengthy. But whenever there are cutscenes, I will try to keep it at the normal speed just so that you have the option of viewing it if you want to. So yeah, I'm kind of new at this, so bear with me as I try to figure out more and more stuff about how the editing process for videos on YouTube work. Just kind of sit back and enjoy. Right now, it's just the beginning credits or whatever you want to call them. So yeah. So this game honestly has been a big part of my life. It has been with me really since I was a child. I'm currently 19 right now. So just watching Yuna and Titus's relationship throughout these many years, all the different things that's happened in the game, and honestly the game franchise with all the other characters that we are introduced to, such as like Cloud and Vaughn. Dang, who else is there? The second part of this game is really good too. Final Fantasy X-2, the remastered version, with Yuna, Riku, and Pain, YRP to the rescue, of course. But I definitely would give that a play as well. Definitely recommend it. The battle system is a bit different. In Final Fantasy X, we get to experience the turn-based battle system, and of course the sphere grid is something that we aren't really used to. It took me a while to get used to it myself. Because every single character that you actually get to play as, they get to take different paths. And so you can have a white mage, a black mage, a warrior, like your time mage, you know, your speedy quick people. So everybody just has a different little route that they can take, and I think that with the expert sphere grid, if I'm not mistaken, it's just kind of all mixed in everywhere. So you don't necessarily get to decide like which people can be what kind, like the job system kind of thing. So it is a bit different, and I'm pretty excited to experience it myself. I personally probably will not start doing the sphere grid until I get a few more of my characters. I'll probably wait until we're introduced to Yuna, Lulu, Riku, or no, not Riku. Riku's way down the line. I'll wait till we get Yuna, Lulu, and Waka just to see where some people are placed in the sphere grid. I'm hoping that they don't all start at the same place, otherwise, might be a little weird. So, yep. So right here, it took me forever to figure out what in the heck I was supposed to do whenever I first started this game ever. But you just talk to the people, you get to choose your name, and then you break their little hearts because you say that you're going to play Blitzball with them tomorrow, and then you don't get a chance to because you're swallowed up. Titus being a little flirt, as usual. So that right there, what you just saw was the prayer for Yevon. It symbolizes the faith, I guess, that the people have in the game, and Titus never really has been a huge part of it, but you will see that a lot of the characters that we are introduced to, it is actually a big part of their lives, and it's something that they heavily rely on. Um, it's honestly one of the main points in the game, I'd say. But once we get to the end, you will actually be able to see how exactly it is a very main point in the game. Just gotta get through the crowd to the stadium. So right here, you'll see just beautiful, beautiful graphics that Square Enix has actually developed for us, and the music that you hear right here is actually Jekt's theme song. It is like available to download or whatever, and I actually I was kind of hooked on it for a little while. It has a very catchy tune to it, I think. But this is the first time that you were actually introduced to Blitzball. So what he's standing in right now is called a Blitzball Stadium. Blitzball is kind of like, it's a sport that kind of mixes like soccer and football and swimming all into the same thing. So it's different, but some people kind of struggle with it. But there is a little cheat that you can do to actually get get to win, because you do have to get like beat several tournaments to get Waka's I think it's his sigil and his crest, both of them I think, and then you have to get like the different attacks that he can do, his overdrives. So it's a touchy thing, really, and a lot of people struggle with it. I know whenever I first started trying Blitzball, that it was something that I personally struggled with. But score. See, now right here, it was always tricky because you can kind of see that, you know, they might resemble different races, but like whenever you see the Blitzball teams after Sin attacks, you actually see that each one of the teams is a different race or like a different area in the game. So I kind of wonder, like, was Spira a thing while this Xanarkand was still here? Like, were there other towns and like islands and stuff, or was it a thing that developed a while after Sin attacked, 1,000 years later? He does mention at some point in the game that whenever there were monster attacks in the city, it was a very rare thing that would happen. So just kind of seeing this this attack on the city is not really a normal thing that they would expect to see in their daily lives. Right around this time, I want to say, is whenever they were introduced to summoners, and you actually like find this out later in the game, but so yeah, spoiler alerts, I guess. But you do get introduced to the summoners. They can summon different aeons, is what they're called, and is one of the key ways of actually, I'd say personally, of winning, like end game or just throughout the game, just because of how OP they are. So it's, some people use them, some people don't. I personally like to rely on my characters, but some people do rely on them because, like, the more turns that you take, the more what's it called, like the levels that you get to upgrade your sphere grid, the more turns that you take, you get less and less of that. And so some people will stick with the Aeons because they can actually like finish the battles faster. But like I said, I like to take my time. I make sure to use every single character in every single battle, so that a way their CP levels will go up, so that I can upgrade them, keep them kind of balanced with each other, just so that some people won't fall behind. And if, you know, whenever they get separated in the place under Bavel, like, they could actually have a surviving chance, you know. So it can be tricky at times. Right here, you actually will get to fight your first boss. The first couple bosses that you fight, you actually cannot die. You'll notice that they only do attacks that take a fraction of your HP. So for beginners, this is a very good thing to exercise, only because of the fact that, you know, maybe they haven't played these kind of games before. They don't understand that like, you have to use your potions so that you can heal yourself until you are actually introduced to Yuna, which is the white mage. So it's something that was just a very good idea to introduce to beginning Final Fantasy people. Whenever you're fighting these little bug-looking things, really only worry about cutting through the people that are in front of you, because you don't actually get any CP from killing them, which is the stuff that you use to upgrade your sphere grid. Just get the ones out of the way that you need. Because no matter what, you go into the first boss battle with having a certain amount of overdrive, so that it'll actually introduce that to your characters. So don't really worry about trying to kill all of them. It's kind of useful, or not really, I guess. So right here, yeah, you're introduced to the overdrive system. Every character has a different kind of overdrive. Like Titus, he has several overdrives, and in order to get all of them, you have to constantly use his overdrive, and whichever is his newest attack, you have to do it a certain number of times, and then it'll give you like the next overdrive. I want to say that there's like 6 of them or so, maybe 5. But it is a fun way to get all of his overdrives. Like, I think I want to say that there's an achievement for actually getting all of them. Orin, he has several overdrives that you actually have to find throughout Spira, the Jex spheres, of course. Let's see, Waka's you get by winning tournaments. Lulu, hers is simply any magic that she has. She can do, and I want to say it's just black magic. She does like fire fury. You have to rotate your analog stick several times, and however many times you do it will be however many spells she casts of fire. Riku, she gets to mix items to make special items that you can't normally find throughout Spira to begin with. Kamari, he can learn abilities from enemies, fiends, and can actually reuse them to fight in battle. Beware though, he can extract an ability from the bombs to self-destruct himself, but once you do this, you cannot actually get him back in the battle, so just be very careful with that. So in this battle here, I solely try to focus on just killing the ones that, whenever their wings start to flicker, just like that. But once you see Orin tell you to hit that thing right there, focus on having Orin hitting it while you have Titus take out the ones that have the wings flicker. After you do hit the thing a couple times, honestly, I wouldn't worry about the ones who have wings flickering and just focus on destroying the thing that Orin tells you to destroy. So back to overdrives. Yuna has overdrive where if your Aeon's overdrive is not complete, then you can bring Aeon into battle with a full overdrive gauge, and then once you use it, it goes back to how much overdrive it had before you actually had it filled up by Yuna's overdrive. Let's see, who am I missing? We got Titus, Orin, Riku, Lulu, Waka, Yuna, and Kamari. I think that's everybody, yeah. This is silly right here because he has to jump and then Orange just already up there. How exactly did he just get up there, you know? Like, does he have that teleportation strength? Can he just, boom, you know, already up there? Again, with the graphics, such beautiful work that they did. And we're currently being sucked up into the blowhole right now. Not the only time that we'll be sucked into the blowhole.
This is it. This is your story.
This is your story.
It all begins here.
And welcome to Spira. So, after you get sucked into the blowhole, you kind of had like this weird dream of Titus and his father. You'll notice that this right here will actually be a place that you see later on in the game as well, whenever you actually have to fight a certain boss, I'll just say that. But honestly, that's like so in game, and it's so just weird. Honestly, it gets really weird after a certain point. Like the bosses are just like you can't die. Like they make sure that you get to the end just to see the different events and stuff like that. So after we get sucked up, we go here, have our weird dream, and we actually meet one of our other like primary characters in the game, just after a little bit of being introduced to a new area called the Baj Temple, which is where we are about to wake up right now. Later on in the game, you actually will be able to come back here using the airship that Sid has that you actually get to find soon, and come back and get one of the hidden Aeons, which there are 3 hidden Aeons that you can actually get throughout the game. Some people say this one is honestly the most powerful, but I disagree. I personally think that the Magus Sisters, one of the other hidden Aeons, is by far the most OP summon that you can actually get. And they're beyond powerful. Like once you get them, they like have opportunities to do max damage with every attack, just depending on how well developed you have Yuna, because if you get like certain attributes raised with Yuna, then you actually can raise attributes of your summons as well. That's how they stay so well developed throughout the game. So right here, if you explore a little bit, you can see there's a ruin that has some Albed written as well as a treasure chest. And it takes me a while to find this other ruin, but in the other ruin there is another treasure chest and a Albed sphere, so that you can actually compile all of the Albed dictionaries that you found throughout Sphera from a different save. In my other save, I actually do have quite a bit of them found, but not all of them. So it is kind of, sucks, that I don't have all of them found, so I can't exactly see what they're saying at the beginning of the game. But I can, like, try to read them a little bit, try to understand them, Right here, I was thinking that was definitely the way that I was supposed to go. But it turns out, in fact, that it is not. And I actually have to go somewhere over here to get that second hidden treasure chest. There we go. There's that stairwell. There's that Albed sphere. Um, It'll take me just a second to compile all of the ones from another save file. I am a Hydesia or something like that. We find that treasure chest with a high potion, I believe it said. The other one had 200 gil in it, which can be very useful at the beginning of the game, so that you can stay keeping those potions up, just so that we can keep our allies healed while we still figure out the white magic situation because of the expert sphere grid. Right here, it talks about something under Makalania. I wasn't super sure exactly what it was talking about. Oh wait, yeah, that's right. It tells you where one of the sigils are, or the crests, to get the ultimate weapons for one of your characters. Behind one of the pillars after you defeat a major boss there at the top of Makalania, you'll find the sigil. Make sure to save your game right here, and then there's actually a treasure chest to your left before you have to go back into the water to fight another boss. Should be a high potion. Yep, there we go. High potion. And into the water we go. You'll actually have to come back later, get in the game to defeat the boss that you're about to fight now. For sake of not knowing exactly how to pronounce his name, I will call him Susan. Susan is very wild and has an ability later on in the game called Stone Punch, that if you're not cautious can actually take out your entire team and get you a game over. So you want to be careful with that. Try not to get that by simply having accessories equipped that will keep you from getting the petrification status, or I would say keep gold needles on hand, but once you are hit with Stone Punch underwater, it actually does make your character self-destruct, I guess, in a way. So this boss fight that we're about to have right here, you can't actually die from again. Its attacks only do like a certain amount of damage, so like it'll take like half of your health that you have now, and so it's again good for beginner players, so that way they can kind of figure out the battle system a bit before you can actually get into the game. I think its name is like Geosgano or something like that. See, just as half of our health there. Half of our health yet again. And that is it for the second boss battle. And then it just tries to come and eat us. We now are going into the ruins. Have to do a little bit of exploring. Build us a fire. Um, you actually, I wouldn't say have another major boss fight, but this is actually where you do meet the next character in the game. You've already met Titus, of course, you've met Orin, and you are going to be introduced to Riku, which is one of the girls in the game that at first, whenever you first get her to actually use, like later on in the game, I personally think that she's kind of useless, only because like we've gone this far into the game without her, and so she's so underdeveloped that it can kind of be tough to get her to be caught up with the rest of the characters. But with enough like being in battles, of course, like she gets several CP levels because of how far we are, but it is kind of hard to keep her alive long enough to actually survive through a battle. So really just like use her, like attack with her, steal with her or something, and then switch her out for one of your other characters, to make sure that the rest of them get the CP so that they can develop as well. So right here we have to find the flint and tinder to start our fire. There are a couple of hidden treasure chests actually. I just want to make sure there wasn't one in that room. So right here it just says that we need our tinder of some sort. So right here we go up here to find the withered bouquet on the wall. And then if you keep on going, there is a treasure chest with a couple of items. What are you? A high potion. Alrighty, and then you go back down here, and before you go back out, you go down a little further, and there is that treasure chest with an ether, which will come in handy for whenever you have to start using some magic. So you're gonna build your fire, and then do make sure to save your game, but you build your fire and wait for the next battle to start. You don't actually get to come back to these ruins, unless I am mistaken, unless there's some way to do it. I have not found some way to do it. So, if you do miss those treasure chests, you won't get to come back and get them. But they are just like, you know, just small little items that don't really matter much in game, except maybe for the ethers. Those do kind of come in handy for doing some of your boss battles, unless you have Ospos.
I thought you'd be crying.
Who, me? You cried.
You cried. Yeah, Titus, you cried.
Hey, wait!
Just watches our fire go out, doesn't do anything about it.
Ah, just hold on. I'll get more wood.
So this is where we have our next battle. I believe you can actually die from this dude, so be careful. If you have less than, I'd say about 110 health, you'd want to heal your people, because he can actually do about, I'd say, I think it's about 100 and, let's see. Oh, no, I guess I'll have to wait and find out. I think one of the attacks was like 109 damage. So maybe like 120 to be on the safe side if you don't have Phoenix down yet, which I'm not quite sure if you do. And here you will see you get to fight with another character. Don't use her grenades unless for the one that it makes her use against the enemy that you fight right now. Actually, you're going to want to steal a grenade or two if you can, and save them for another boss that you actually will have to fight soon with those two people that you have right now. Just get pure butt for a second, and then of course she takes off her goggles and you see, oh, it's just a normal girl, or us first we think, and then they just treat us like we're nothing for a little while.
Hey, let me go.
They think that I'm a fiend in disguise as a human, but I am not, in fact, a fiend disguised as a human. Kuno. And then we nap for a little bit to wake up on a ship that you actually will see later on in the day. Later on in the game rather. So keep that in mind. Get to do an interesting battle on that ship.
Kid, did die job.
Hey, that hurts.
Don't worry, they will treat you like crap for a little while, but then you just get to go someplace else. But of course.
Canis.
Right, whatever.
Tuli Hood Kabeg?
I said I don't understand.
Fed! He said you can stay if you make yourself useful.
You understand me? All right, I'll work.
So really, working for them is just simply going into the sea for them. Make sure you do talk to the Albed on the left. He does give you a few potions, if I'm not mistaken. And then you will have to sit through the sphere grid tutorial that takes forever. So don't mind that. You see how the sphere grid is set up a little bit. It does change a lot from the normal sphere grid that I personally am used to. So we're going to try the expert one, see what happens, see how balanced our characters are, who gets what abilities, kind of thing like that. After you're done with that, I would make sure to save your game, because I guess there is one more save point down under in the water, but if you touch your save sphere, of course, you'll get full HP, which you will want for that boss fight.
Okay, let's get to work.
Roger.
Alrighty, so just swim on down, follow the chain down into the ruins where you get to discover the airship, of course. So right here, Titus just starts beating on stuff because that apparently fixes everything in his life. Can't go back unless you go back to the ship, which I did on accident just to hit that save sphere. Then you go right back under. See, now this is the expert sphere grid. Everything's split up quite a bit. I just kind of explored a little bit, see like where the different abilities are, try to find all the white magic to see how spread out those are. It'll be kind of weird to get used to, I think. Like I said before, I'm really hoping that they do not put all of the characters in one spot to begin with, because that would just be silly. I'd want people different locations so that they can start getting all the different abilities, just so that I don't have to wait forever to get like haste or something, you know, something that'll come in useful later on. So just follow the thing back down, just go through, follow the red arrow as usual, and you will get to your next boss fight eventually. If you do get into one of these battles, I didn't, but make sure that you steal grenades because those will be useful, like I said. You don't really get much CP for fighting these things underwater. Again, take out the little things, go all right on for the next fight. So this is the next boss fight. Make sure to steal a couple grenades if you can. It'll swim around and try to kill you with its attack. Personally, it'll have you do the standby, which is like an option that you can choose, and it doesn't make them guard or anything. It just gives them like 50 health or something like that. Yeah, there we go, 50 health. But if you block the attack, it actually will do less damage, just simply by pressing triangle, of course. It'll go to do the attack again, like so, and then you'll select pincer attack, which will make both of them go different ways so that the thing cannot come and do that very strong attack again. The grenades do so much damage, oh my gosh! And then simply just swim on out that hole that that octopus could have escaped from that whole time, to swim a little more. You'll eventually see the airship that you'll actually get to use later on in the game, once you leave from home, which you'll see what that is later on in the game, of course. So just swim on towards that red arrow, and here is your little sneak peek that you get in just a moment. That thing is so useful endgame, just because of all of the different places you have to go for the arena to catch the specific monsters. It gets intense, really. So right here, we are still stuck out on the deck, but this is really where you get to see the softer side of Riku, and she just talks to you, tries to get you to calm down, you know, gives you some food.
Hey! Hey, I helped out, didn't I?
So she will bring out the food right here once he complains of how hungry he is, but I feel like, you know, when do these people actually have time to eat? Like, what do they eat? Do they kill behemoths and then steal their steaks or something? Like, when do they eat?
Whoa!
Now you gotta watch him scarf down his entire plate of food. ASMR at its finest. Choking, dying. Water. And now, after a short scarf session, we are all good. We can get up, stretch, and call it a day. One of the best scarf sessions, might I add.
Hey!
That's all that you can say, Riku. Hey.
Hello there. What is your name?
Riku?
Whoa! You really do understand. Woo-hoo-hoo!
One of our fastest characters.
Why didn't you say so earlier?
I didn't get a chance to. Everyone thought we were a fiend.
We, part of the Albed language.
Oh, we means you.
Who are you guys anyway?
We're Albed. Can't you tell?
No, I'm not racist, Riku.
You're not an Albed hater, are you?
I
don't
just
even
said
know
I
what an
wasn't
Albed
racist,
is.
Riku.
Where are you from?
Xanarkin. I'm a blitzball
Duh.
player.
Star player of the Xanarkin days.
Star player of the Xanarkin Abes.
Did you hit your head or something?
Y'all hit me. Duh.
You guys hit me?
Oh, right. Do you remember anything before that?
And then we go into a long discussion about Xanarkin.
So I told her everything there was to tell about Xanarkin. About life there, Blitzball, and Sin's attack. And about how Aaron and I were engulfed in this light. I just said things as they came to mind. But then I started to wonder. Did I say something funny?
You were near Sin.
Mm-hmm.
Don't worry, you'll be better in no time. They say your head gets funny when Sin is near. Maybe you just had some kind of dream?
You mean I'm sick?
Because of Sin's toxin, yeah.
You sure?
No,
Yeah,
I'm
there
not
is no
sick,
Xanarkin anymore.
Riku.
Sin destroyed it 1,000 years ago. So no one plays blitzball there.
Salty bitch. What do you
What do you mean,
mean,
1,000 years
Riku?
ago?
1,000 years ago?
But I saw Sin attack Xanarkin. You're saying that happened 1,000 years ago? No way.
You said... You play blitzball?
Uh-huh.
You know, you should go to Luca. Someone might know who you are, or you might find someone you recognize.
Luca?
Ah.
Huh.
Okay, leave it to me. I'll get you to Luca. Promise. You'd rather stay here?
Uh-uh.
Okay, I'll go tell the others. Wait here. Oh, and one thing. Don't tell anyone you're from Xanarkin, okay? Yevon says it's a holy place. You might upset someone.
Oh, uh-huh. My Xanarkin? Some kind of holy place? Yeah, right.
Yeah, right.
Since when?
Since always, duh.
Yevon? Sin? Luca? I thought Sin just took me to a faraway place. That I could go back in a day or two. But 1,000 years into the future? No way! Whoa!
Oh no, you broke it, Titus, you broke it.
Shin! Sinek Musa! Etonic! Etonic!
Whoa! Ah!
And once again, we are swallowed into the blowhole of sin to find us someplace else. Alrighty guys, that brings us to the end of the video today. Thank you for watching the tutorial of Final Fantasy X Remastered. Make sure to join us again next time for a good little sneak peek into Crusade. Thanks guys, have a nice day.